Ahoy mateys, and welcome back to Sly 3, Honor Among Thieves. Previously, we took the battle up to the high seas and took care of Lafui's personal mercenary force, the Red Sail Sea Dog clan. Furthermore, we went to the misty part of the open waters and finally dealt with Crusher. And somehow the Guru was probably able to befriend it. It left with the Guru, did Crusher. So now we're down to a team of 5. Hopefully I know Guru and by extension Belly, I hope they know what they're doing. Because I am not going to be held responsible for that whatsoever for whatever happens to them. But then again, this is putting all of our lives on the line, so I kind of have to take responsibility. After all, I am the captain of the ship as well, so there is that. Today, with all our preparations finally made, we're gonna head back to Bloodbath Bay and commence Operation Reverse Double Cross. But there's something I'd like to mention about our crew, or at least our strength in numbers. You all remember that Penelope was the Black Baron, right? And all those people that she had under her payroll? Why didn't she try to keep a portion of those under her command? I mean, we could have used that much manpower shortly after she joined the gang. What did she do to all of them? Did Penelope lay them all off and now they're like out of work? If so, that's kind of harsh of her. I mean, I know she was taking up a new path by just being herself with the Cooper gang, but really, in a time like this, that could have been so helpful. Considering that, well, I don't think in reality, our numbers would even reach half to what a pirate crew numbers should amount to. I don't know, it's just something I thought about recently, and it probably would have been something in hindsight that they could have, like, kept in mind. But that's just my opinion. Something that I think should be worth thinking over, though. And something else I like to mention is actually about Lafouille himself. His species is identified as an eclectus parrot. The thing is, his color scheme doesn't really match to what you would normally see of this type of creature. Males are supposed to be green with orange beaks, but Lafouille is actually colored after the female kind, which is the whole red with black beaks. If you look up like the images of the female parrot online, they actually look really pretty. So there's probably a reason why that they did go for that color scheme, regardless of Lafouille's gender.
Battle stations, we're headed into action.
It's gonna be tight sailing in here, Sly. Keep an eye on the rocks.
This open battle with the Death's Head is just like any other pirate ship battle you've ever come across. Same conditions apply, that's including the damage spots in the front and the back of this ship. So if you're able to find an opening spot like that against the Death's Head, then you'll be able to deal a lot of damage to it. It's actually a pretty good spot since I'm so close to Lafouille's ship, he can't really damage me at all. I think I'm gonna back off and circle around again. Just gotta hope that Lafouille doesn't turn around first and get its own shots at me. That was some damage, not too much though. Just try not to make sure I get into Lafouille's line of sight. He's actually the one that's ramming me across the wall like so. But that just allowed me to pot shot him all the more, so I got the ultimate advantage here. It's never been this close to me before, but I'm able to draw out the fight like this, then that's cool with me. After all, I've got the advantage with my own line of fire. I do a lot of damage though, but still, I am doing some damage. That's better than nothing. Alright, if we continue to chase me down, for someone who's classified the smartest man of the 7 seas, he's not acting so intelligent right now. This is a really dumb battle tactic if I have to say anything about Lafouille's so-called intelligence. I saw that coming. I knew he was gonna try to fire off a shot at me. I also gotta keep range in mind as well. The farther you are, the more hits you'll be able to hit on your enemy ship. That's not what I'm doing right now, but it's still working out.
We smash them down! Ram them and jump on board!
Really, Cooper? A bad choice boarding a ship packed with over 100 pirates. Sure your keen is up to the task of cracking all our skulls?
I don't know about all of you, but yours, I'm sure it can manage.
Ha! Restrain this man and keep your distance from the enemy vessel. This smells of lubber trickery. Take heart, boys. Been a while since we witnessed a good plank walking.
If there was ever a time to get him angry, this is it. With all his men all around, he'll need to look tough. So what we could do is install his creativity, his ship, his crew. Let's try to go for his crew first. I like to imagine that there are a few things the pirate captain holds near and dear to their heart. Loot, loyalty, and probably their crew. At least their well-being.
Your crew doesn't like me much, Lafouille. Where'd you find them? A charitable home for cross-eyed deviants?
Oh, hear that, shipmates? The condemned man labeled you all wastes of skin. How's that sit with ya? Stick him! Tear the meat from his bones. Let's drink his blood. It appears you're right, Cooper. They are deviants.
Alright, that didn't work. Well, I like to think that another thing that a pirate captain holds near and dear to them would be their ship.
This plank's got splinters in it. I thought a prissy sailor like you would take more pride in his ship.
Oh, no. I take a great deal of pride working splinters into the feet of those about to walk my plank. Arr, arr. 'Tis the extra touches that makes all the difference.
Okay, it seems that Lafouille is a different class of your average pirate. Let's try his creativity then.
Making me walk the plank? You're the pinnacle of creativity, Lafouille.
Not creative? I'm the smartest man in the seven seas, you slanderous scabbard!
He seems a little rattled. That slanderous scabbard crack was pretty weak. Maybe I could play off it. So we could play it cool, show him up, or make fun of his pirate talk. I'm pretty sure that's something all pirates would have liked with that last choice. Let's try playing it cool first. That seems to be what Sly is all about after all.
Stop it. You're hurting my feelings. More name-calling like that, and I'm leaving.
Cheap action movie dialogue won't get you out of this one, Cooper. You're as good as dead, or my name's not Lafouille.
I don't know, the way he played it cool was kind of, well, cool, in my opinion, but to each their own. Let's try showing him up then.
That's the best insult you can think of? I could do better in a coma, while speaking a foreign language, to deaf apes.
Your wordsmithing is preposterous, presumptuous, and patently premeditated. Time to put that slack tongue to use, like giving the shark something to chew on.
I swear, these guys are like 2 seconds away from having their own round of vinegar talk. If that really did happen, I would be all over that, because I love that little minigame. Well, let's try insulting his creativity even further by making fun of his pirate talk.
You've got a real knack for pirate talk. Put two nonsense words together and pow! Scary pirate name-calling.
Bah! You might be quick with the put-downs, but who's got the hidden girl, huh? Me! You'll never find her.
I'm getting close. Time to really push the Penelope angle. We could mock his skill at hiding her, ability to keep her prisoner, or his attractiveness to women. That last one seems way too good to ignore. Let's try that first.
Yeah, I suppose you'd have to keep her locked up. After all, if she ever got away, you'd never get a date.
It is true I have a strong personality, but I've never had a problem with the ladies, especially when I have a broadside aimed at their sailboat. Savvy?
Alright, he was able to play it off there. What about his skill in hiding her? You know, when you really think about it, skill in hiding her and ability to keep prisoner are kinda similar. That might be just me, but that's what I've noticed.
Hidden? A fellow sharp as you couldn't hide a stick in the forest.
I've got some skill in hiding my blade in Lubber's guts. Fancy a demonstration?
Well, that was fast. What a fast remark. Alright then, he's not the smartest man of the 7 seas for nothing, I guess. Well, I suppose we'll try the last option, ability to keep her prisoner.
I'm not worried about Penelope. A girl tough as that will free herself by tomorrow morning, then come and steal your wallet.
Ha! That chickadee will never escape her skull keep. She's locked up in irons, and there she stays until she agrees to love me, despite all my faults. Now be the time sharks launched on your parts.
You're the captain. Step on it, Murray. They've got Penelope locked up in the Skull Keep.
Check! What? The lubber's getting away! After 'em, boys! Send up the signal flags! 'Tis all out, boy!
Heads up, Murray. The whole town is trying to blast us.
Well, it's nice to know that the pirates are welcoming us back with open arms.
Drop me off at the dock. I'll make a run for Penelope. You keep the boat safe. We're gonna need it for the escape.
Safe as a baby. Now get moving.
They've definitely rolled out the red carpet for us.
Sly, there's a back route up the Skull Keep. Jump on the floating boxes. Penelope and I made a walkway all the way to the top.
If that red carpet was made of lead. So let's make our way back to the same way we went to Skull Keep earlier. By going around back and going up the ramps that Penelope and Bentley made so long ago. And you'll be chased by pirates all the while, so that's why your alarm keeps going off. After all, we did kind of piss off the entire pirate town, so that's kind of makes cause for concern. I'll steal some coins in the meantime, adding to my overall abundance of coins. My gosh, 4,000. Over 4,000. I can do better than that though. Like I said, I've gone up to 10,000 before.
Penelope, that you? It's time for a rescue. Lafouille. He's good.
Ha ha! The landlubber fell for it! Hook, line, and sinker! Thinks he can outmaneuver the smartest man on the 7 seas? Ha ha! Not hardly. First Mate Jones,
Aye, aye, sir.
take a battalion of your best men and raid the Cooper ship. There's sure to be some lingering rats about.
What? Sir,
Don't cut me off while I'm speaking, or I'll cut you off from breathing.
the Cooper ship is making for the open water, sir.
Rats indeed. Make full sail with what must we got. If they make it out to sea, we'll never catch 'em.
Aye, aye, sir. Bentley, Sly's all blown up and LaFouille's boat is gaining on you.
Keep it together and meet me at the mouth of the harbor. If I can get into deeper waters, I should be able to give this guy the slip.
But Sly!
Keep it together. We're not done yet.
Blast! They'll make it out to sea in this wind. Jones!
Aye, sir.
Load the cannons and prepare to come about. If the breeze don't help, we'll fall back on iron and powder. Fire! Avast there! Afraid you didn't quite make it out of the harbor. Prepare to surrender your vessel.
Sorry, Lafouille, but I'm sure this water is deep enough.
Deep enough to be your grave.
Guru, Crusher, now!
By thunder!
Is Crusher? Crusher! We're doomed! Ha-do-da-da! Ho-da-dee-da!
Good to see you too. I'll focus on freeing Penelope. You take care of any pirates that might come up on deck. Use the left and right analog sticks to control your tentacles. Then hit the R1 button and L1 button to smash guys.
With the way that Belly describes how to use Crusher, it makes it sound like he had Guru implant a PS2 or a PS3 controller in the Crusher's head, and that's how the Guru is making Crusher do all that stuff. That's just some silly headcanon thing I've had for the longest time, and it never gets funny thinking that. So we'll do what Belly says and protect him at all costs while he tries to free Penelope. Well, he says he's doing that, but he's just sitting there doing nothing. I guess he just wants to get to watch some of the entertainment before he does actually go to work.
Free to go.
And just I say that, he's already working on the second point of that gate. I guess he is sort of doing something. I think I saw his hand leaning over for a second or two. But that could be just me. So the more, I guess, wenches, the more points that Belly gets through, the faster these pirates will approach him.
Keep it up, Guru. Only 2 left.
So you need to get to like a certain rhythm to keep all these pirates off of Belly's back, and you have to speed up that rhythm a little bit as this little mini game goes on. I'm honestly surprised this isn't like a challenge of sorts that's required to beat this game. You'd think it would be like smash as many pirates as you can before
Once more, just a little bit longer.
Bentley? Is that you up there?
It's a rescue, Penelope. Hold tight.
before you have Bentley die. I think that's something that would have been like a little nice challenge you could do. Nothing too stressful. We're almost to the end of this little Crusher minigame. I did have a lot of trouble with this before, but years of experience have made me absolutely flawless at this minigame.
Done.
Bentley! You.
Call off your squid, or the girl gets it.
Back off, Guru. I'll deal with this guy.
Aye, that you have. Set me up to think I'd outsmarted him, then pulled me into the deep water with this beast. I tip me hat to ye. You're the cleverest man I've ever had the pleasure of beating.
You getting this, Sly?
Yeah, I've got some perspective on the situation.
Avast!
Guru, get Sly. He can't swim.
Aye, shipmate, but who'll be helping? You.
Ah!
Nobody touches that turtle. But me.
Me pirate flower finally blooms. Yet ye'd favor this cripple over me, the smartest man on the 7 seas?
Oh, I do like smart guys. And he beat you at your own game. You tell me who's more intelligent.
Be still my heart and quick me blade. 'Tis time for a duel. You and I'll make the mating dance of death.
Use the left analog stick to jump and duck.
You don't really have to use the left analog to just jump and duck. You can also use X to jump. I'm not sure which face button is to duck as well. Circle, though that makes sense actually.
Ow! Wow!
Get back here.
So depending on how Lafui poses, will show what kind of attack you have to use. You have 2 choices, square and triangle, but depending on, like I said, how Lafui poses, will determine what kind of attack you have to use. If you use the wrong one, then you'll be reflected like so. If he attacks you, then you'll be knocked back as well.
Want some more?
So he's doing that little crouching hat tipping thing, so I'm using the square button for that. Before I was using the triangle button for the first level. I kind of lost my concentration there for a second. Sometimes I tend to go for like triangle on instinct for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Mar. Yo!
Stand and take it.
And another question. This really shows just how athletic Penelope can be. I mean, you saw how she was able to hop onto the top of the mast like she just did moments ago. And how is she able to take all of these hits without using any armor? I mean, she's getting hit by a sword. You'd think that would cause like some blood to spill or something. But you know, E10 plus rating, you know that. So this can be a little trick you know what you're doing. If
Smartest man on the seven seas.
you don't know what you're doing. But if you learn the pattern long enough, then that last part is no problem.
Lafouille was beat, outsmarted by our own resident genius, who'd done more than just rescue a team member, he'd won himself a girlfriend. It was nice to hear him talk. They'd have these conversations the rest of us couldn't even follow. Far as I could tell, they were made for each other. Dmitri was in love too. The new diving gear had gone to his head. We were informed that he'd be our frogman for the Cooper Vault job. Not that any of us had even asked him. For the first time in memory, Carmelita didn't show up and cart everyone to jail. Oh well, I'll send her a postcard. You know, I'd hate to have her feel left out.
And Dmitri rounds up the army of thieves that the Sly Cooper gang has put together. And with Lafouille now dead to rights, this brings us to, well, the title of the game. Roll credits, I suppose? This is actually the final episode of the game, which I guess they want to be all clever and wise, I suppose, and like cool. That's probably what they're going for, I'm not sure. Maybe it's like a good way to bookend things, that's probably what they were going for. But that is the final episode of the game that is now unlocked, Honor Among Thieves. But by doing that, you can now also go back to all the previous levels apart from beginning of the end to do all the various treasure hunts to officially get 100% on the rest of those levels too. And with that being said, we're now finally, well, nearing the grand finale, folks. It wasn't that long ago that we did start this Let's Play, and now we're already at the final episode. Man, it's been quite the adventure, quite the look back on how everything came to be, but we're finally at this point. So next time, we're gonna start the final episode of the game, which happens to be the title of the game as well. Until we meet again, farewell for now.